Question 13 says, three rods of identical cross section and lengths are made of three different materials of thermal conductivity K1, K2 and K3 respectively. They are joined together at their ends to make a long rod. One end of the long rod is maintained at 100 degree centigrade and the other at 0 degree centigrade. If the joints of the rod are at 70 degree centigrade and 20 degree centigrade in steady state and there is no loss of energy from the surface of the rod, the correct relationship between K1, K2 and K3 is. Clearly the question is from heat transfer by conduction and heat current is same, the lengths of the three parts are same, their conductivity are different, the area of cross section is also same. So, to find the relation between K1, K2 and K3, we can equate the heat current in the three segments separately. So, the equation for the heat current is given as heat current H is equal to, for the first segment we can say it is K1, the thermal conductivity, multiplied by area of cross section into the temperature difference, which is 100 minus 70 or 30 degree C divided by, let us say the length of each segment is L. So, this is the heat current for the first segment. Similarly, for the second segment it is given as K2 into area of cross section into the temperature difference, which is 50 degree C divided by length L. And finally, for the third segment this is same as K3, the thermal conductivity into area of cross section and the temperature difference is 20 degree C divided by L. So, this is the equation which will help us find the relation between K1, K2 and K3. In fact, we can straightaway say that 3K1 equals 5K2 equals 2K3. Now, the question is practically solved. We see that the first option is correct, it is matching with the values that we have got, the relation that we have got. Let us now go to the next question. Question 14 says, two planets have masses capital M and 16 times capital M and their radii are A and 2A respectively. The separation between the centers of the planets is 10A. A body of mass M is fired from the surface of the larger planet towards the smaller planet along the line joining their centers. For the body to be able to reach at the surface of smaller planet, the minimum firing speed needed is. Question is from the topic gravitation and the concepts of gravitational potential energy, the concept of gravitational field are involved here. Let us draw the two planets first of all. One has radius 2a, mass 16 m, the other has radius a and mass capital M. The separation between their centers is 10A according to the question. So, let us say that this is the larger one, its mass is 16 m, the radius is 2a, and let us say this is the other one, its mass is m and radius is a. Here the radius is 2a and the distance between the centers has been given as 10a according to the question. And if a particle is fired, let us assume that the mass of the particle is m, towards the second planet, what is the minimum speed it must have so that it is able to reach the surface of the second planet. Now, for it to be able to reach there with the minimum possible speed, the speed should be such that it is able to cross the point where the gravitational field is 0, a point connecting the centers of the two spheres. Suppose that point is somewhere here. So, if that point is here, let us say at point P, if at point P the gravitational field becomes 0 and this particle is able to cross that point P, then it reaches the second planet with the least possible speed. So, what is the distance of point P from the center of the first one? Let us assume that the distance is x, and since the field there is becoming 0, we have the equation capital G into 16m divided by x square, if x is the distance of point P from the center of the first sphere. This should be equal to g into m divided by the distance from the center of the second planet becomes 10a minus x. So, we have 10a minus x the whole square. So, this is the equation. This will help us find the value of x, where let us show the x in fact is this distance, okay, from the center of the first sphere. By taking the square root on both sides, we find that we are getting 4 by x is equal to 1 by 10a minus x, and this is giving us 40a is minus 4x is equal to x, or x is coming out as 8a. So, the equation that we get by conserving mechanical energy would be like this. So, initially the potential energy of the particle due to its interaction with the larger sphere is minus capital G into 16 times mass into mass of the particle divided by 2a, because it is being fired from the surface of the larger planet. Then its interaction energy at that position with the smaller sphere, that is minus g capital M small m divided by 8a plus half mv square, that is its minimum kinetic energy, and with this much mechanical energy it should be able to reach point P. So, at point P its potential energy of interaction becomes what? It becomes minus capital G 16 m small m. Now, the distance from the center of the larger sphere is 8a. So, we have 8a here and minus capital G m into small m. The distance from the center of the smaller sphere now is 2a. So, this is the equation. Solving this for V will give us the minimum value of V required for the particle to be able to reach the surface of the smaller sphere. So, it is a simple equation, and solving the value of V, we get it is coming out as equal to what is given in option 1. So, option 1 is correct for this question. Let us now go to question number 15. And question 15 says, when a particle of mass m is attached to a vertical spring of spring constant k and released, its motion is described by yt is equal to y naught sine square omega t, where y is measured from the lower end of unstressed spring. What is the value of omega? So, what we do is, first of all, we rewrite it using trigonometrical identities, and the expression for y can be written as y is equal to y naught divided by 2 into, we have here 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Using trigonometrical identities, we can rewrite this in this form. And what it does is, it helps give us the expression for the angular frequency of the simple harmonic motion, and the angular frequency is 2 times omega. So, this means that we can now write 2 times omega is equal to root k by m, where k is the spring constant and m is the mass of the particle. But if we look at the options, k is not appearing in any of the options. So, we need to replace k. Now, we also notice here is that the amplitude of oscillation is y naught by 2, and remember, if we show the situation with the help of this diagram, this was the initial position of the particle when the spring was unstressed. It will go to a maximum distance of 2 mg by k. The amplitude, which is y naught by 2, is equal to mg by k. So, that means we can put here y naught by 2 is equal to mg divided by k, and this helps us replace the value of k. We can put the value of k as from this. This is coming out as 2 mg divided by y naught, and let us now substitute this value of k in the expression, and then we have the value of omega in terms of g and y naught. Now, substituting this value of k in the expression for omega, the value of omega comes out as under root of g divided by 2 y naught. That means option 3 is correct for this question. Let us now go to question number 16.